thought I should do a video on who is Nancilee and why you should believe her. Let me tell you a little of my background. I started out as a social work major, and in a time and place when social work was just starting out. I found that very frustrating because many of the behaviors of people coming back from prisons or the young delinquent children who I was working with on the Upper East Side of New York, believe it or not, I couldn't change their behavior. I could give them opportunities. I could do many things. But their systemic experience in life was such that their behavior didn't change. So I dropped that and I became an interior designer. I went to school, got a degree. I worked for a big firm in New York, and it was wonderful. And in shaping, in those years when I was an interior designer, in shaping people's spaces, I realized how idiosyncratic people shape their space. And I realized there was a connection to who they were and how they shaped their physical environment. Back in the 70s, in about 1974, I believe, I was asked to teach an alternative high school in East Orange, New Jersey. And at that, let me turn this light off. That's better, I think. At that alternative high school in East Orange, New Jersey, I shaped a course that I called How Person Place. And I developed through the work of people like Edward T. Hall, father of cultural anthropology, Jane Jacobs, one of the first city planners of New York City, Death and Life of Great American Cities is her opus book that she wrote. I developed a theory that place did, in fact, impact on how you behave. That place was another role that another tool, rather, that a person could have to shape their lives. And I tried to develop, at that time, an understanding of how place affected your behavior. In 1974, as luck would have it, there was a reprint of a book that had come out by a missionary in China, Reverend Eitel, his name was, and he had gone to China in the 1800s and wrote about the strange and unusual practice of feng shui. And I thought, as I read the book, although it was stilted and it looked down on the practice, I said, interesting, the Chinese already have a discipline that joins person and place. You know, I'm going to look at this into this further, and maybe we should have a discipline like this in our country. And so my odyssey began. And of course, as you know, it wasn't until the late 1980s that Sarah Rosbach's first book on feng shui came out. That gave me a lift. I said, her book has been successful. Now it's time for me to write my books on feng shui. And unlike Sarah Rosbach, who used a wonderful Chinese feng shui master as her teacher, I used the scientists, the social and scientists that I had studied in my university days, Edward T. Hall, Abraham Maslow, Jane Jacobs, all these people who talked in one way or another how place affects behavior. After my first several books, by the way, I have 8 books out on feng shui. At this point, I'm writing my 9th, as a matter of fact. But as I was into my books and writing them and developing the school, Feng Shui Institute of America, I realized that there were many patterns in nature that really showed us how patterns should work successfully or not. And then I started delving into just a little bit of biology, because biology teaches us that how a system works. And then, of course, that extended to botany. Then it extended to physics. And so I developed what we call pyramid feng shui, not because it's Egyptian, but because it's developed like a pyramid with a large base. We have a base of all these social and physical sciences, and we keep building up until we funnel it out at our particular expertise level, which is place. Pyramid feng shui, like any self-actualization tool, takes work. It's not magic. You don't move a chair and change your life. You work on understanding who you are, how you have selected things that impede you reaching your goal. It's a wonderful, wonderful tool because it's always right there with you. So, welcome to Pyramid Feng Shui. I'm Nancilee Wydra, its founder, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our videos.